Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this unplanned video. I just wanted to do something that would maybe just distract from the horrific news of Bray's passing. Obviously that caught us all off guard yesterday. We knew that he wasn't well and he hadn't been well, but I don't think any of us saw this news coming. Still processing it. Obviously it's going to take time. It's going to take time for everybody to really get their heads around this. And obviously thoughts go with the family and the friends, but the fans as well. I mean, I've seen such heartache all over social media, in the comments, in my DMs. This has really affected people. So I don't know, if we can just distract momentarily by taking a look at Bray's career, then hopefully we can make it a little easier for people. I asked you guys to tell me your favorite Bray matches, memories, moments, and what I did was kind of put the most voted on, the most mentioned, into a bit of a top 10. And we're going to have a look at that. I've actually put it in date order as well, so it kind of works as a bit of a journey through Bray's career, and I'll throw in some extra commentary as and where I can. Bray obviously had such an incredible career, just constantly innovating. That, I mean, if you want to talk memorable moments, this could have been a top 200. So there's going to be plenty of things here that I think would have made it onto your list that maybe hasn't made it onto this list. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. It's really, as we said, a bit of an unplanned, last-minute distraction, something that hopefully is just, going to be fun to watch. And if you want to put in your favorite moments in the comments, go ahead. It'll be interesting to read those moments that maybe didn't make the list, or those kind of personal memories that people have. So absolutely feel free to do that. Right, let's get going, shall we? Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and ramble forever. We're going to start with our first one, and it is the debut of the Wyatt family. This is maybe in itself not an incredible, earth-shattering moment. I would say it was not as good, nowhere near as good as when Bray came back at Extreme Rules just last year. Like, the theater of that was incredible. This one doesn't quite reach that level. I don't think even WWE had kind of worked out yet how to really present these guys. But a lot of the things that we associate with the Wyatt family are totally in place at this point. You've got the "we're here" and the lantern and the blowing out of the lantern. I believe the rocking chair is around at this time as well. Obviously, you can see Rowan and Harper. You can see the Wyatt family. They're around at this time. All of this was established down in NXT. I know a lot of people will talk about Husky Harris and want to mention Husky Harris because he is a big part of Bray's story. But the Husky Harris character was never very well received. It was going to be difficult to see that character really going on to achieve anything of note. I think Bray had to go back to developmental, had to really find something different, something that would make him stand out, and he found it. But they had to prove themselves, and prove themselves they did, because we got an amazing match at Elimination Chamber in 2014. This is the Wyatt family against the Shield. Meltzer, who's not the biggest of Bray Wyatt supporters, gave this match 4.25 stars. So action absolutely everywhere. Look at the star power in this ring. This is often cited as one of those kind of lost classics, if you will, one of those kind of recent matches of the past 10 years that maybe more people should be talking about. It's very rare that you get two top teams, like in their peak, at their prime, going at each other, going up against each other. We see it with tag teams, of course, but not so much with, like, dare I say, factions, where we've got two teams of three And wow, the action was absolutely incredible. If you get a chance to watch this match, maybe you've already seen it. It's definitely worth a revisit. Then we've got the highest rated Bray Wyatt match, according to Dave Meltzer. Again, was still in 2014. Like, in-ring wise, this is a really strong period for Bray. So this is a last man standing match against John Cena. And there is a lot of people that will say that this is either the best or certainly one of the best last man standing matches that we've ever seen. It got 4.5 stars from Dave Meltzer. To put that into perspective, the strap match that Bray has with Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble, I think that was 2020, that was a 4-star match. A lot of people will say the Daniel Bryan one is their favorite Bray match, but as we said, this one actually got a higher rating from Dave Meltzer. I went back and rewatched it. There's loads of great moments, loads of outside interference and things that are going on, and it's a lot of fun. The finish as well is quite creative. So again, another one that's definitely worth checking out. Then we've got this moment, and what a moment this is. So we're actually skipping forward a few years. I think it's like 8 years after joining WWE. I believe his first match was in FCW, which was NXT before NXT existed. In 2009, that was his first match. And here we are in 2017, 8 years later, and he is the WWE champion, winning the title inside of Elimination Chamber. Now, sadly, he would only hold this title for 40-odd days. He would then go on to lose it to Randy Orton at WrestleMania, but the story here was quite good. Randy had won the Rumble. Bray had won the title. Randy, at this point, was kind of with Bray and saying, I'm not going to face you. Obviously, that was all a lie. He does end up facing him, and it's around this time that when he turns on Bray, this is around the time where he burns the compound, the Wyatt family compound, down. And obviously we would see a painting of that in the Firefly Fun House. So yeah, there's a few moments around this time, a few things leading up to this match at WrestleMania 33 that are kind of quite important. One of those being Bray winning the title. This would be his only WWE title reign. His only one. He only ever held this belt once, and it was in 2017 for 49 days. Going to skip forward a little bit further. So that was 2017, Bray winning the title. He then gets into a bit of a tag team with Matt Hardy, the whole deleter of worlds thing. And then towards the end of 2018, we start to see some tweets coming out, which are like, the patient is seemingly on the mend and all this kind of stuff. Like, it seems to be, it's on Bray's account, but it seems to be like from a doctor, like giving us an update. I mean, it was so random and out of nowhere. And obviously everyone was quite excited. What does this mean? And then we started to see some vignettes of puppets and toys, and we didn't know what that meant. And then boom, here it is. Here it is. Here was the answer. Bray Wyatt delivered the Firefly Fun House. So this is April 22nd, I believe, of 2019. The Firefly Fun House. I actually went back to the watch-alongs. We were doing the watch-alongs then. And unfortunately, here in the UK, the TV company didn't realize this was part of the show. They actually thought this was like a commercial or something, because it just does not look wrestling, does it? So they cut it. They actually went to commercial early. And so in America, you lot were watching it on TV, but here in the UK, we went to commercial because they thought the network over here in the UK didn't think this was part of the show. So they started to play the UK commercials instead. So I had to watch it after Raw had finished, and then do like my thoughts and reactions to it afterwards. So yeah, that's just a fun little fact that some might not know about the first Firefly Funhouse, was that we didn't get it live here in the UK. But yeah, this was when it finally arrived. I mean, this was, incredible. It's one that I think people struggled with at first. I remember a lot of people saying that it was cringe and weird, and he's a kids presenter now, but obviously we know there was a dark side to it. I think you could sense there was a dark side to it right from the start, to be honest. And then of course it would lead to other things. One of those other things was this guy right here, the arrival of the Fiend. The arrival of the Fiend in the Funhouse is a massive moment. He would go on to attack Finn Balor on Raw, and that was very exciting. That was the first time we were seeing him live in front of people in the ring. It wasn't his first match, though. His first match would be SummerSlam 2019. And that would be against Finn Balor, and it would be a very comfortable win. But of course, we would see the new lantern, we would hear the new entrance music, we would see the move set. I remember being so excited for that. There were so many questions, and wow, we got a lot of answers. So yeah, the arrival of the Fiend was very much a game changer. And that allowed him to go on to win the Universal Championship, of course. So he would win the Universal Championship not long after arriving. He won it at Crown Jewel in a Falls Count Anywhere match in 2019 against Seth Rollins. And it felt different this time. So when he won the WWE Championship before, you could tell he'd won it because they wanted to do a match between him and Randy at WrestleMania. And then he lost the belt to Randy. This time it felt more like he had momentum. He had one of the most talked about characters in all of WWE. And it felt like he was going to hold this for a lot longer. Sadly, it wasn't that long. It was 119 days. So certainly better than the 49 days he held the WWE Championship. But yeah, he obviously would go on to lose to Goldberg in one of the most disappointing results. That result really was disappointing. I didn't expect him to lose to someone like Goldberg, but it meant that he didn't have the belt anymore, and that then allowed him to maybe do a match that I don't know that he would have done if he'd have been champion, but so many of you mentioned this, it had to be in this list. It is the Firefly Fun House match. So WrestleMania 36, Bray had lost the title a few months before, and here we were at WrestleMania in front of no fans because of the pandemic. And we got this match where really John Cena was being treated like a human puppet by Bray. He was kind of making him say and do things that he wanted him to do. He gave him a bit of free choice, like he made him choose whether to swing the chair at Bray or not, because these two had faced at WrestleMania a few years before, and John Cena had the choice to hit Bray with a chair, but he chose not to, because if he had have hit Bray, then that could have been seen as a heel turn. It could have been seen as a bad thing for him to do. Whereas this time he was given that choice again, and this time he does swing the chair. There's plenty of callbacks, Easter eggs, lots of things like that in this match that people just absolutely love, picking it apart, revisiting it. As I said, it is one that divides opinion, but no one can deny the storytelling or the creativity that's involved in this match. Then, obviously, he would end up being released, but he would come back, and we have to talk about White Rabbit. I think White Rabbit, the campaign, which was, a song, a mysterious song being played during commercial breaks. And as people were entering buildings and people were finding things on their cars, underneath their windscreen wipers. And we were then getting QR codes that we could scan, and it would give us clues. The whole White Rabbit thing from 2022 was just incredible. And it all led to what has got to be one of the best returns. Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules. We got the puppets, the Firefly Funhouse puppets come alive. We then got the door. We got to see the fun house, and it was all abandoned and derelict. Then we got like the TV screen coming on. We got introduced to a new character. Then we got Bray emerging with like this new mask. It was just awe-inspiring. It was crazy moment after crazy moment after crazy moment. So good. One of the best returns we have ever seen. And believe it or not, we've only got one more moment to talk about. That's 9 moments. Here's number 10. And I had to include this. I had to include a moment from this year, 2023. I mean, pretty much you can find a moment from every year included in this year. And Bray sadly didn't do a great deal in 2023. He kind of went missing just before WrestleMania. So we only got like a couple of months from Bray. I don't know that we saw him at all in March. So I think we had January, February. Well, in January, it was Raw 30 years of Raw. And we got this incredible moment where Undertaker just whispers something to Bray. My belief is because someone, I forget, but someone in the chat in our live stream said that they think they like could lip read and see what was being said. And I'm still of the belief that what was said was the new face of fear lasts forever, goes on forever, because Bray was called the new face of fear. Undertaker was, if you will, the old face of fear, and Bray was meant to be his replacement. And it felt like at WrestleMania 31, the torch was going to be passed, but it wasn't. And so a lot of people see this moment only from this year as being the moment the torch was passed, where Undertaker, who's now retired, just leans over and whispers something, and Bray nods, acknowledges, and says, like, you know, afterwards, it was an amazing moment to have. And a lot of people see this as a passing of the torch. So had to include this. So yeah, you know, there we go. We didn't include the Daniel Bryan strap match, but we absolutely could have. Plenty of people love that. We didn't include the Fiend being burnt alive. I mean, certainly that was memorable. You know, there's plenty of WrestleMania moments. There's loads. There's absolutely loads. I mean, there's so many great Firefly Fun House moments as well. So yeah, you know, as I said, feel free to leave your favorite moments down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this little walk through Bray's career, just looking at like 10 of his most memorable, biggest moments. Feel free to, you know, as I said, share whatever thoughts you want down in the comments below. I hope everyone's holding up okay, as good as you can. And yeah, you know, it's going to be all right. It'll be all right. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.